So I have three of my students that are joining us this morning. I have, this is John.
Brad.
Good to see you. Good to see you. We have many more students in the program. We just work out their schedules to be this morning to be with us. Behind them, we'll be talking about it. Chip McDonald, he's one of our business partners that we work with in the program. Okay, so he's here for us. How are you today?
Doing great, thank you for coming. Great program.
We're going to welcome, this is the WBAY Manufacturing Lab here at West High School. So I'll kind of give you a little history of the program that we've been now in business for 10 years here. This used to be an automotive lab, and then, I've been at West for 22 years. It's the only school I've ever been in. As we know, there's a huge need in manufacturing for employees. After seeing that, the school district got together with NWTC, our local technical college, and then the Northeast Wisconsin Manufacturing Alliance, which is a group of manufacturers here in Wisconsin, to try to come up with, fix the problem. We need more employees in the manufacturing pathway. So between those three groups, we developed this program here. Over $200,000 in donations. We were able to then remodel this into the manufacturing facility that you see here. The program is open to students from all of the Green Bay high schools. So not only just West students, we have Preble students, Brett's Preble students, and these are both West students. But students from all the high schools can apply to be part of the program. We then look at their applications. We try to treat it like a real job, trying to give them a real world experience. Once they're approved for the program, they're enrolled in the program, and we start off in the fall. So each year I got a turnover of employees. I got to train new employees every year. But we run this, it's an actual manufacturing job shop here. So we work with local businesses to get work for the students. The students learn how to estimate how much material do we need, how are we going to make these things, what are we going to charge the company for making these things. We work back and forth sometimes with, well, that price is a little too high, that price is a little too low, which sometimes it's like, you got to charge us more money, we're not charging us enough money. Then the students, we order material, whatever we're making, and then the students learn throughout the school year how to make the certain things, and then we deal with quality control, and we get into financing, and we get into customer service. They have to deliver the parts if the part wasn't right. We work through that process to see, okay, what was wrong, what did we do wrong, what we change in our process to make sure that the stuff we're making is to their specifications. Because these aren't practice parts, these parts actually go into real things that the companies are actually using in their, whatever we're making them for. So if there is, we have to get it right because they're holding us to the same standard that they would any other supplier that they would be using. So the students really learn about paying attention to detail and that sort of stuff like that. So,
does the companies, do they do the quality assurance then, or do you do that here?
we check it before it goes out. We do, not occasionally, we do miss things sometimes.
Sure.
So then we have to make right what we did wrong.
What has changed over these 10 years? It's just out of curiosity.
Well, we have to, we want to be just as good as an actual company.
Right.
So we have updated equipment, like that machine is brand new this school year. And so we have to continue to evolve to be able to keep up with the real jobs out there. So the students are getting more and more technologically literate, so I don't have to teach them much on computers and that sort of things anymore. They just kind of turn them with that. They can use things most of the time sometimes. But yeah, I've noticed that. So that's, we want to continue to evolve every year to try to, we don't want to be static.
How about numbers?
So being as kind of a special program, we have about between 12 and 15 students. I have a section in the morning for a couple hours. We have them for 2 hours because 1 hour, 1 school hour is not really enough to get anything really accomplished. And then I have a second shift in the afternoon that comes in for 7 to 8 hours. So then I'm running about 20, 25 students a day through the program. And that ebbs and flows every year, but that's what we're doing.
And what grade level are participating?
Juniors and seniors only.
Juniors and seniors.
So at our other high schools, the freshmen, sophomore are learning those basic skills.
Right.
So that when they come into my program, then they know enough where I can take them and expand what they're knowing. They receive 4 credits from NWCC for being part of the program, so they get those 4 college credits that they could take and use for their education post-secondary. They also receive a industry certification. It's called a CNC Helper Certificate. So when they come out of here, they can show that certificate to an employer, and it says, I know X, Y, and Z. So that's kind of put that in their resume when they go to apply for a job. It kind of puts them above the rest of the people who are just applying.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, we do charge for what we're doing, and then a portion of it, they get a scholarship to use to further their education.
That's amazing.
Great program.
We're actually number 1 in the state for industry certification. Our students graduating. We are number 1, and it's in large part thanks to Andy's work.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, good
How do
work.
you recruit the kiddos?
I do, so West High School, I'm here, this is my home school, so the students know me because I'm always in the other classes, just kind of, I'm around. As far as the other high schools go, the counselors are very good in the other high schools about letting the students know, hey, this opportunity is there, and you've taken all those other classes, this would be a great fit for you. I also do go visit the other high schools and just kind of be in their rooms, just to kind of get to know my face and know who I am.
Should be a program.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we've got a lot of stuff going on this year. We've had a really busy school year this year. Behind here we have, we've been building large dock sections for one of the local marinas. That's where Chip approached me to one of our school board members a few years ago. He had heard about it and wanted to learn more about it. And then when he came in and seen it, he was like, I got a great opportunity for you and your students to get some real world experience. So, Chip, could you talk about the grant or where?
Sure, boating infrastructure grant, so it's a federally funded grant administered through the state DNR program to rebuild our infrastructure for docks and slips. A lot of that was put in the 70s and 80s. That infrastructure is going old and now has to be replaced. So that structure is the skeleton of the dock, and these gentlemen are rebuilding our future. Literally. If you've been on a couple of docks and you look like me, you get very interested in the structure underneath. So they produce excellent quality. Amazing program. Mayor helped us through a lot of it. Really, really good program because it gives back to the kids. I was not a great student, he can attest to it. Spent a lot of time with teachers that really invested in us, and we want to invest back in our community. This is a phenomenal program. It goes all the way through the cycle of giving them actual skills that they are fully in need of in our workforce. It's an absolute investment in the future, and with tourism being one of our largest industries, it's a phenomenal investment in our community and our state. And thank you very much for supporting it. Thank you. And any other questions, I'd be happy to talk more about it. I think it's just one of the greatest programs that I've seen come along in a long time.
Nice.
So when we started this, Chip's company had sent us a whole bunch of blueprints, and then we had to figure out, and the students learned how to decipher those blueprints. We still have them up on the wall because we're still in the process of building docks, and according to Chip, it's going to be until I retire probably. So, which is good. It's good. It's a great thing. So we figured out, okay, how much material do we know? Now this is a small one. Some of the other ones where they filled up the entire jig table, they were 8 by 20. This is kind of a smaller one, but the students figured out how much material we need to purchase. So we worked with the steel company to get the material we needed. Then we had to figure out, how everything goes together, like a big puzzle. Right. And we laid it. The students laid everything out, so they know how to put it together and weld it. The first one, I was very hands-on. I had to help them because they didn't get it. But now I don't have to get out of my chair. When the steel shows up, these guys know what size we build in. I tell them, they start cutting, they start welding, and
So the projects, do they go from school year to school year, or is it
This one
like at
is-
the end of the school year, all the projects have to be done?
So this one we started last school year.
Okay.
And we're probably not going to, we're not going to be done this school year. In the past, we've hired students in the summertime, so they actually get a rate, we actually pay them an hourly rate, so we work in the summertime to continue to do this, because real job shops don't say thanks for your work in September.
Right.
So we try to at least do some things in the summertime, gives the students a little money, and we continue to do work for our customers too.
Thanks. Do you have trouble finding customers?
No, yes and no.
Depends on the customer.
Correct. I think I could do a better job of getting out there a little bit more. I'm not a salesman. I'm not a businessman. I've been a tech ed teacher my whole life. I went to technical college first. My grandpa was a machinist. My other grandpa was a carpenter. My dad worked on cars, so I've been around this my entire life. So as far as going out and selling the program, I'm not the greatest man. I could be better, but this dock project has really kind of kept us very busy this year. And we do have, and I can show you some of the machining stuff we do. We've had enough of that too, that it keeps us busy. So at the beginning of the school year, there's a lot. It looks almost more like a normal class, but they need some other things. We're getting, the high school credits and the NWTC credits. There are certain competencies that they have to show me that they can do. We try to get through that as quick as possible, and then it's work time. Do our work, do our parts. And then again, there is assignments and things that they have to do. It's not just all work like this, but this time of school year, it gets a lot of that. Questions on the dock?
Looks good.
Yeah. So we just, like Chip said, we build the skeleton, and then they send them out to get them dipped because it's dock, it's going to get wet, and we wouldn't want this metal to get wet before it's coated, or it would corrode. And then they put floats underneath it, and then a layer of concrete on top is the decking that they actually, and then they just put into the marina.
Oh, these guys.
Yeah, these guys have been some of the kind of the leaders as far as building these docks and things like that. They make my job easy.
Any of your seniors?
Close to it.
What are you gonna do next year?
Next year I'm planning on going to a company called Master Speech and working on semi-truck trailers. They send you to, most of their employees, they send to Fox Tech for some certification and stuff, which is good.
Yeah.
Ethan?
I currently work in Master Speech.
So even though this is welding, machining, you could still use it for the other trades also.
Sure.
They're needed all over, not just in machining, welding, fabbing, we need auto mechanics, we need some mechanics, we need carpenters, we need plumbers, we need everybody. So even though this isn't technically working on semis, but getting those hands-on, basic mechanical skills, that's gonna help them to succeed in their future. So, with the industry certification, a lot of students could go out and get jobs right out of high school. Pretty decent paying jobs for an 18-year-old kid. I've had companies hire them right out of here. I encourage them to go on and get some kind of post-secondary education, whether it be a local technical school. Youth apprenticeship's been a big thing the last couple of years. We've had more and more students entering that. But the job market is really good for these types of students with the skills that they have.
And we'll continue to.
It doesn't look like there's a big need going away anytime soon for these types of schools like that.
Governor Rivers.
Yes.
Do you know Dr. Ray from NWTC? This is a unique partnership with NWTC, working closely with Andy and the students.
And the faculty is great if I have a question, need some help with something that's faculty. But they were just here last week or the week before. They come out and kind of see what we're doing, and they want to help make these students better because they could be their students at some point. too.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that. Do you have any sense how many new students every year?
I do not know the number off the top of my head.
There's some.
Yes, there is. But the program leads to a lot of other pathways. I have students that not here now, but he's going to go on to be a mechanical engineering class. So we took these classes because I said, an engineer that doesn't know how the machine's not gonna make a very good engineer, because they're gonna ask you to do some really crazy stuff, and the machinist is gonna be like, well, what is this? By having those hands-on skills and understanding how this works, should be a better engineer.
That's somebody from your program?
Yes, he is. He's actually gone to Madison right today. He was gonna be here, but he had to go to Madison to do some stuff. He was senior graduate.
Andy, did you want to talk about it?
Yes, yep. So, the dock's obviously pretty heavy welding, fabricating, but we also have several CNC machines, and this isn't as flashy, this is cool. It's got a little boy on the top, and a boat on there. But when you take a look at a part like this, where they go through that, most of the machine parts that we make go into the paper industry, obviously, the paper industry. So they come to us to make these small parts that go into their larger paper equipment. So even though this part is $50, not very big, goes into a multi-million-dollar paper machine. So if this doesn't work, it could mess up the whole machine. And so I make sure the students, they're like, oh, that's nothing, we can do that. That's what's got to be right. You know, these holes got to be within a 2/1000th of an inch tolerance, so that's like a human hair. So if that rolls over a human hair, this might not work in what they're making. So, yeah. This is a CNC machine, a computer numeric controlled vertical milling machine. This was purchased when we first started baling. The students, we were just this morning, they're learning to write programs to actually make these parts. So they put the program into the machine, set it up, and then they drill those holes or just put some threads in it and things like that.
What are you doing this for?
These are for, it was paper converting, but they were just bought out by Mary Roman, but it was paper converting. And we do a lot of work for them. They've been a good partner since the beginning of the program. We've done work for a lot of local companies. We've done work for Georgia Pacific. We've done work for paper converting. A lot of the local machine companies around here that are generally all kind of doing things for the paper industry. That's another, just a smaller version of that. We were able to purchase that last year. To again increase our capacity so we can do more work. So with one machine, we're getting a little bottlenecks sometimes where we're waiting on the machine to be empty to run more parts. Now we have two. Now we can expand the capacity. So,
How was that purchased?
there. Was that total district? Or did we split it?
The district fund.
So the district paid. I wasn't sure because
That wasn't a trick question. But thank you for saying that. We can't afford to expand. And we talked about that before. This program is great. It needs to be in the district and the community, but we can't afford to expand it because of the public school.
We do have CTE available through Wisconsin Fast Forward, which the governor trying to expand and cover as well. So there are opportunities for the Department of Workforce Development to help purchase equipment, and we'll make sure to send that over to you.
Thank you.
Yes.
we do charge for what we do. So some of the equipment we can pay for, but it's not. We don't charge. I'm going to say we don't charge a lot. That's why the company is like, you should charge us more money. But I'm not paying any real labor to the students because they're in school. Their job here is to be in school to learn. The scholarship to get into the year is nice for them to further their education, but we do things really expensive. It's more about the experience, the real world experience for the students, not making money.
Ever have downtime or isn't enough work for students?
It has happened. It hasn't happened this year, but that's why I'll keep a couple of those competency assignments that we have to do, and I keep them kind of for that downtime. So they're still getting work on the machines and things like that. Instead of making parts, they're making widgets for me, just so they can practice their skills.
And how many?
About 20.
That's pretty much.
Yeah, next year we're about 20, 25. I haven't seen the final numbers yet. We're still going through the scheduling process. But we're at about 20, 25. I'd love to have 30 kids, but we don't have a big enough facility. And there'd be a lot of probably downtime for some of the kids. So we keep it about 12 to 15 kids per morning and in the afternoon. Just so the kids can really get that real experience.
Good work.
It is. It's been very rewarding the last 10 years of being part of this program.
How long have you
22 years. In this building, and this has been my room for 22 years. They'll probably carry me out of here.
You're good.
don't leave anything?
Yeah, do we want to get a picture? I'll get you a picture over here. Get all the folks.
Or do you want me on? Doesn't really matter. I don't know why they want to stream this stuff. Yeah, it's the same thing. You know what's going to happen.